Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Tomorrow I'm giving a talk I'm calling Better Solo Than So-So. In preparation, I've written this, and hopefully you'll find some value in it. We're said to be social animals, and indeed, it can feel good to be part of a group. After all, that's part of why you joined this organization. That's why you have friends. That's why you may have a romantic partner or three. Yet we may not give sufficient thought to whether the compromises that a relationship imposes are worth it. In other words, might we be better off solo than so-so? For example, let's start with learning. We take courses even though they're often too difficult or too easy or merely boring. We do it partly for the learning, partly for the diploma or certificate, and often partly for the social aspects. But under-considered is the solo option, what I call UU, Y-O-U-U. That is, articles and videos you found using a Google search, maybe augmented by a tutor that you hire just to answer questions you couldn't answer by yourself. UU allows you to learn just what you want, when you want, at the pace you want, and it's cheap. Rather than a course, might you give more credence to UU? Even if you want a diploma to boost your career, explaining in your job applications how you learned more of relevance at UU than at State U can trump conventional applicants. Now let's turn to solo rather than so-so regarding socio-political views. The media and the colleges generally issue one-sided messaging. For example, that we must redistribute more from the haves, no matter how worthy, to the have-nots. Taxpayer dollars spent on social uplift programs, welfare programs, aid to developing nations, taxpayer-subsidized housing, and so on. It can feel good to join the crowd that accepts the dominant college and media narrative, but sometimes we join a crowd when deep down we're not sure we agree. Indeed, all of us are affected by the times. Yesterday's truths are often today's falsehoods, and possibly will tomorrow again be truths. For example, the primacy of merit in distributing fiscal and human resources. Another example of au courant thinking is the vaunted work-life balance. Some people work a lot, not so much for the money, but at least in part, because they want to be more contributory. Rather than joining the crowd pathologizing them as workaholics like alcoholics, don't they deserve respect, if only by calling them simply hardworking? More broadly, shouldn't we aim to be freer thinkers rather than necessarily being a go-alonger? In other words, might this be another example of it being possibly better to be solo than so-so? Especially at Christmas time, as the New Testament says, and the colleges and media trumpet, we're urged to give to, quote, the least among us. Iconic is Scrooge, going from stingy to generous to Tiny Tim. But if we care about making the most of our charity dollars and our time, might it be wise to avoid that groupthink and give to those not with the greatest deficit, but to those with more potential to benefit? I mean, every battlefield medic knows that greater benefit accrues from giving limited resources not necessarily to the sickest, but to the people most likely to benefit. So, instead of giving our money and time to the homeless, might greater good accrue from giving to a mentoring program for high potential but low income kids? Just an example. I asked my dad, who was a Holocaust survivor, why he rarely attended Holocaust remembrances, and he said, "Martin, most survivors go to those events, but we make more of a difference not by looking back, but by taking the next step forward." In other words, my dad chose solo rather than so-so. In the event, that little essay is my preparatory planning for my talk, Better Solo Than So-So. I do hope you liked it. I welcome your thumbs up, accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I'm certainly flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel, and welcome you taking a look at any of my 30 books. Perhaps most relevant to this one is my book, How to Do Life. All 30 are available on Amazon. Just go there and search on my name, Marty Nemko, N-E-M-K-O, and you will find more than you can stomach. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.